Hey everybody, this is video number 38 of the 90-day video challenge. Today we celebrated the 50th anniversary of Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech, and in honor of that I'd like to share a few quotes of his about love and peace in the world. It's something that I strive to do within myself on an individual level, in addition to the actions I have with the rest of the world, with all of you. I think that's something that we're missing in our push and approach toward world peace. We think on a huge scale, which is wonderful, and we need that. I think we often forget what happens on an individual inner scale. There have been memes that have gone around in quotes. I don't know specifically from whom, that say if every child were to meditate for 15 minutes a day, that war would be eradicated in this future generation. To think about what we could gain by taking the moment of silence, of stillness, of inner peace, and looking within to better ourselves, to foster peace within ourselves. If every single person fostered peace within themselves, regardless of what they're doing on an outside level, like my crazy hands to the camera, on an outside, larger national, international, global level, by the same token, peace is achieved if everyone fosters peace within. But what happens is we see people that don't necessarily want to do that, who promote more hatred, and so we reach out, we take more of an active approach toward helping others. And I wonder if we didn't just give up those efforts, but if we made the primary focus within ourselves, not just consciously, because I think consciously a lot of us believe and think that we are peaceful people, and I believe that. Unconsciously or subconsciously, I think that there are some beliefs, a lot of limiting beliefs within each and every one of us, that whether we want it or not, stem from a sense of oppression or hatred or discrimination or lack of justice or something being unfair. And just going by a sense of law of attraction, that's what we emit. That's what we project out unconsciously or subconsciously while we're staying on the surface of peace, and we wonder, well, why is it not working? So there's a lot of inner work to be done. And there's a lot of outer work to be done. And both in harmony, that's what brings us love. That's what brings us peace in a global sense, stemming from each and every one of us as individuals. Here are some quotes by Martin Luther King Jr. World peace through non-violent means is neither absurd nor unattainable. All other methods have failed. Thus, we must begin anew. Non-violence is a good starting point. Those of us who believe in this method can be voices of reason, sanity, and understanding amid the voices of violence, hatred, and emotion. We can very well set a mood of peace out of which a system of peace can be built. I am convinced that love is the most durable power in the world. It is not an expression of impractical idealism, but of practical realism. Far from being the pious injunction of a utopian dreamer, love is an absolute necessity for the survival of our civilization. To return hate for hate does nothing but intensify the existence of evil in the universe. Someone must have sense enough and religion enough to cut off the chain of hate and evil, and this can only be done through love. In struggling for human dignity, the oppressed people of the world must not allow themselves to become bitter or indulge in hate campaigns. To retaliate with hate and bitterness would do nothing but intensify the hate in the world. Along the way of life, someone must have sense enough and morality enough to cut off the chain of hate. This can only be done by projecting the ethics of love to the center of our lives. we see some commonalities, some common words, phrases, and of course themes in all of his quotes. Sometimes it's difficult to figure out, did he actually say that? I know there are a lot of Martin Luther King quotes that are incorrectly credited to him, or the wording is different and changes every Martin Luther King Day. I always see a different version of the same quotes over and over again. But regardless of that, listen to the words. Go back and listen to them. Hope you really listened to them the first time around. Look into your heart. Look from a piece of nonviolence, or in Sanskrit, ahimsa, ahimsa. Ahimsa means to do no harm, or nonviolence, and is the foundation of veganism. Vegan being coined by Donald Watson in the 1940s, I believe. And it's all about doing no harm to our fellow animal beings on this earth. No longer oppressing them, confining them, abusing them, killing them unnecessarily. We can go a lot deeper to how we relate to each other on a human-to-human level when we take a look at our interactions, our beliefs, and our relationships with non-human animals, and even further with the earth itself, a living, breathing planet. If we're violent to this living, breathing planet we're on, it seems pretty obvious that violence will just spread further, and hatred and evil. We can get a lot out of looking at the good within us and making the connection with our fellow human, our fellow non-human, and this beautiful planet we live on. Call it the optimist in me, but I see an amazing shift coming. I'm looking forward to being a part of it. I hope you will be too. Video number 38. Bye-bye.